Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yoyis. So I'm finally doing today's video. I've been getting a lot of requests to do this video and I finally sat down and did it for you guys. And I want to apologize in advance because the video is a little shaky. It is my first video doing it like this, so apologies. Just go with the go ahead and start putting in my numbers. And I did notice that I messed this up a lot. Okay, so I wasn't intentionally trying to do it this way. I normally do the numbers backwards. So I write the spikes at the top and then I put the links at the bottom. But for some reason, I did it the complete opposite. I don't know why. So the motto for this video is just go with it because I noticed that I did things a little differently for some reason. So when it comes to spiky or wispy lash maps, I always write down my numbers. I feel like it's easier for me to work this way. Normally with a typical cat eye, I just go in from shortest to longest and it's easier for me to work that way without doing a lash map. But for a hybrid set, I need to write down my numbers just because I don't want to mess anything up. You know, it's better for you to have it right in front of you so you can see exactly what you're doing. So I will recommend for you to write it down. That way you know exactly what numbers you need to put down because you don't want to be putting a 12 spikes and then doing 11 links. So it's not going to work out. So trust me on this. Make sure to write down your map and then start off with your spikes. That is the number one thing when it comes to lash maps, is always start off with your spikes. And also with my spikes, I like to go 3 millimeters in length longer. So as you can see, for the outer links, I'm going with 17s as the spikes, and I'm gonna go in and fill them in with 14s in length. And the reason why I do that is because you're able to actually see the spike. So even with 2 millimeters longer, it will not show. Trust me on this. This is the reason why I use spikes that are 3 millimeters longer than the actual length. Okay, and another tip that I will recommend is to use a lot of spikes. Trust me on this. When it comes to my spikes, I like to do about every 3 to 4 lashes. I like to add a spike. So if you want a really wispy set like that strip lash look, then I recommend to do about every 3 to 4 lashes to add a spike, just because it'll give it mixture, it'll give it dimension, and it won't be so straight. So I do this because it just makes everything look so put together, kind of messy in a way. So you can see here that I'm literally adding a spike about every 3 to 4 lashes. If you want more of a structured strip lash look, then you could add one spike to every number, but I like to do about 3 to 4 spikes for every number. I just feel like it gives it that textured look that I really like. Also, when it comes to spikes, you have to make sure that you add them at the top row of lashes. You don't want to be adding spikes to the second or the third row. So the reason why I like to add my spikes at the top row is because you're able to see them more. So if you place the spikes at the second or the bottom row, you will easily lose them within the links. They blend in with the lashes and it doesn't even look like a wispy set. It'll be a little bit of texture in there, but trust me on this, there will be no spikes at all. So make sure to add them at the top row, okay? So when it comes to placing your spikes, I will recommend to start off from one corner and work your way to the other corner. It just helps you staying consistent with of how many spikes you're placing for each number. So I like to start off with my outer corners and then start placing my spikes from longest to shortest, and it just helps me stay structured. Because if you were just to go like in and out, like going back and forth between each lash and just placing them wherever you want, it's gonna look like a hot mess. Even though you do want it to look like a hot mess because it is a wispy set, you actually want it to be structured and put together, if that makes sense. So you're probably wondering what I mean by a spike. Usually spikes are volume fans that have not been fanned out, if that makes sense. So you pretty much just pull a couple lashes off the strip, make sure it's not too bulky. So it just depends on how thick you want your spikes to look, but the overall point is to pull them off the strip, dip them in your glue, and then put them on the natural lash without fanning them. Okay, so I'm just going to finish off the rest of my spikes on the inner corners, and I'm just going to be adding shorter lengths. So the more I go into my corners, the shorter I want my spikes. And even then, with any set that you do, you always want to make sure that you add shorter lengths in the inner corner, because naturally we have shorter lashes in our inner corner, so you don't want to be adding really long lengths, especially when you can tell that their natural lashes are not strong enough to hold bigger lashes. And honestly, it just looks a lot nicer to start off your inner corners with shorter lashes and then work your way up to longer lashes. Trust me on this. I feel like I say trust me on this a lot, but I tell you guys for a reason. That's one thing that I had to learn on my own when I first started off doing lashes. Nobody really told me anything about what looks right and what doesn't. Honestly, there's no right or wrong way on doing lashes, but this is just the way that I've come to learn, that putting shorter lashes in your inner corners is just more safer for your clients' lashes. But not only is it safer, it looks better. So if you're struggling with that, try using smaller lengths, and trust me, it'll actually help with retention too, because the lashes won't be so heavy in the inner corner and they won't be falling off like crazy. So I wanted to apologize because I realized that I accidentally deleted the footage of me lashing the inner corners. But no worries, if you guys are struggling with the inner corners, I just recorded a video, so it'll be up sometime soon. But one trick that I will mention in this video is to use your tools, like you see in the little short clips that I have here for you guys. If you are having issues isolating, use your tweezers. Your tweezers will be your best friends. Tilt them, twist them, turn them over, do what you gotta do. Like you see, I literally change my tweezers around to help me isolate, because sometimes one tweezer is not good enough, and this is why you have two tweezers. And also use your fingers. If you're having a hard time, you could use your fingers too. So as you can see here, I'm just going ahead and finishing off the inner corners and placing fans and classic lashes, since this is a hybrid set. And pretty much what I like to do is I like to do about 2 to 3 classic lashes per volume fan. And one thing too is try to get your lashes as close as possible to the lash line without it touching the lash line. There's nothing wrong with having a little space between the eyelid and the base of the extension. So try to have about 2 to 3 millimeters of space. Anything higher than that is too high. So just, keep an eye on how far you keep the extension, because it also causes stress on the natural lash. And also do not be placing the extension really close to the eyelid, because it'll cause irritation. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish off the rest of the eyes with the shorter length. So I'm just gonna go back and forth between classics and volume fans until I get the desired look that I want. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video, and if you guys do like my video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because I have a lot of new content coming out for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! I can't wait to see you in the morning, in the bed where you're the king, walking in the sand like nothing's wrong. I'm just trying to write you a song. The sun is going down, I am getting wild. Just can't remember the last time you smiled.
can be yours forever. This is our last summer. I love you forever. Under the lights I can see your face. Above the stars I can see your face. Oh, I can help staring at you. Oh, I'm fine as long as you're mine. Grin up the night, I'm falling apart. You're missing king, I wanna hear your voice. Please come back to me, my dear, 'cause nothing can keep us apart. Please come back to me, my dear, 'cause nothing can keep us apart. You in heaven, then you just wanted to run. I know we could be perfect together. Be sure